The topic is evaluating inverse trig functions. So let's do this example. Find the exact value of cosine inverse of square root of 3 over 2. By definition, look at the definition here. Cosine inverse of x equal y means cosine of y equal x and y is between 0 and pi. So remember, y is an angle. So what does it mean between 0 and pi? It means y goes, this is 0 and this is pi. Y goes from 0 to pi, which means it's either gonna be between 0 and pi over 2, first quadrant, or between pi over 2 and pi, which is second quadrant. So these are the y's we're looking for. Has to be one of these. So let's do this example. We're looking for cosine inverse of square root of 3. In other words, we're looking for an angle such that the cosine is equal to square root of 3 over 2. So we're going to set it equal to y, and then we call this angle y, and then by definition, this means cosine of y is equal to square root of 3 over 2, and y is between 0 and pi. So in either case 1 or case 2. But of course, since the cosine is positive, so it's this case. So let's do this. So let's find the angle y. First, we know cosine of y is equal to square root of 3 over 2, means the a square root of 3, the hypotenuse is 2. Therefore, we can even use, remember we're supposed to use those triangles. This is 30 degrees, this is 60, this is 1, 2, square root of 3. So by looking at that, or you can even calculate it using Pythagorean theorem, this is 1. So we all know that this has to be, by looking at this triangle, this angle has to be equal 30 degrees. So the answer is y is equal to 30 degrees. So what we just proved, that cosine inverse of square root of 3 over 2 is equal to 30 degrees. Or pi over 6, doesn't matter, pi over 6. Now let's do this example. Evaluate the exact value of cosine inverse of negative square root of 3 over 2. Now same thing, we're going to call cosine inverse of negative square root of 3 over 2y, and this is what we're looking for, this angle. But by definition, we know cosine of y is equal to negative square root of 3 over 2, and we know the y is between 0 and pi. So it's either this case or this case for the cosine, right? But since the cosine is negative, so we have, this is the case, right? Now cosine is equal of y is equal to negative square root of 3 over 2, means this is negative square root of 3, this is 2. Again, by looking at these triangles, this is going to be 1, and we know this is 30 degrees, right? Alpha, remember alpha, the angle of reference is 30 degrees. But we're looking for y from here to here. So we know y is going to be all this angle, 180 degrees, minus the alpha, this angle, which is 30 degrees. So therefore, y is equal, 130 minus 180 is 150 degrees. So you can go back here and write cosine inverse of negative square root of 3 over 2 is equal to 150 degrees. And that's it for these examples.